We are live. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. No holds barred. With
You're looking
creepy Mark Pellegrini and Tim Phantom Lim.
Where do you get off calling me creepy when you're wearing a thing like that?
He's doing the Cecil thing.
I'll stab you right in the gullet.
You're looking jacked, Mitch.
I'm looking clucked. Totally clucked up.
Heck yeah.
Okay, everybody, this is Sunday Madness. I don't know what the heck's going on here. We just left Ben Henderson's stream. I think he passed out live. I think we witnessed a comics. Is it a Comicsgate first? A live pass out from alcohol intake on YouTube live stream. No, he seemed reasonably within his wits. I think he'll be okay.
As long as he doesn't try to drive to the store to get some smokes, he'll be all right.
As long as he doesn't try to wrestle the alligator.
He might win if he's drunk enough.
Yeah, who knows? Local Amelia Island man gets devoured by alligator.
Oh, is Ben Hennessy the Florida man I've heard so much about?
He is the Florida man.
He owns an alligator. I thought that, if I'm not mistaken, and wrestles it every Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
He clarified that. He said that apparently he's like its foster dad or something.
Okay. But does he wrestle it? That's what I want to know. That's the question on everybody's mind right now.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's a man of many talents.
I think he gives it whiskey first. Okay. Okay. We have some people here. All right. Shane Plays is here. Shane, you want to come on?
Yeah, let's get Shane in here.
Well, Shane, we need
Yeah.
Shane, are you available to chat? Let me know in the chat. I'll bring you in. Lux Max Knight says too many streams going right now. I think everybody's just cutting loose before the work week begins again.
We're cutting loose, foot loose.
Yes. Sure, love to come on. Okay, give me you guys make everybody laugh. Okay, no pressure.
All right.
I'm gonna go and get Shane on here.
Tug plug. Tug
Shane
is in the house.
I'm gonna send you the link on Twitter. Okay, so check your DMs.
Holy crap! It's like wandering into a cheap version of Eyes Wide Shut.
This is Umbrella Guys here. We are filming the Red Rooster direct to DVD video production right now. You missed it. You can you're the hey there guy. You'll have one line.
I'll try not to blow it in.
Hey, Umbrella Guy, I just finished watching Lord of Illusions. And you were right. That character Nyx he reminded me of Skeletor from Masters of the Universe, the Frank Langella one, where just every word out of his mouth was an awesome quote.
Yeah, he's talking about being born to murder the world and stuff. I was like,
oh yeah. Oh no, he had one really good one. It was like, you waited like lambs, but I am not your shepherd. And then he just kills them all.
Yeah, that's an awesome movie. Whatever happened to that guy, man?
Oh no, whatever happened to Clive Barker's directing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whatever happened to that guy? Yeah.
Hey, Umbrella Guy, man, you guys do stay up late. 12:30 in the morning to do a Plan 9 from outer space.
That's because he works at night. He works like until some god awful hour. I don't know what he does. He's probably a hitman or something. I don't really know. I don't really want to ask him what he does, but yeah, he's like, hey, let's do one a little early. I was like, a little early, yeah. He's like, yeah, let's start at 11:30. It was a good God, 11:30. That's not early, man.
Yeah, I need to tell Yellow Flash. He told me to jump onto his Discord server, but that link on his Twitter isn't even working.
Everybody's freaked out by this mask. I think if I broke into somebody's house, I could scare the hell out of some people.
I'm pretty sure if a cop drives by and sees
the night is still young.
Yeah. I think by default, breaking into their house will scare them.
We're trying to sell Red Rooster to kids, aren't we? I don't think we're doing a very good job right now.
I think we need to have another. I think we have another Indiegogo for like a homemade kind of horror movie kind of thing, like a found footage. The terrible chicken.
Oh God!
Yep.
Are we filming VHS 4 right now? Is that what's going on?
Hey, you ever see those cuts of
Mitch,
like?
blink twice. if the foundation man got to you, Mitch, just blink twice.
You know how like they have those YouTube videos where they'll have like it's like Jaws if it was a romantic comedy, like a fake trailer. I could totally see like a fake trailer for Red Rooster if it was like a horror movie. Edwin, that's your next thing. Has to be Red Rooster the horror movie cut.
Oh. Man, that might hurt my heart to make that, though. That might hurt my heart. Yeah, and I tell people, and I don't know if people think I'm using hyperbole here, but the Red Rooster actually does kind of catch me in like a spiritual place. I'm 100% sincere when I say that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to manifest right this very moment.
You're right
now. Do you feel that spiritual tingle?
It's more of a tingle of demonic, sure, spiritual.
God, more of a spine tingle like that, asking me about feeling the tingle. I don't know what I think about that.
Right now, I want to get the shotgun and some breadcrumbs, maybe.
Breadcrumbs.
Shane Plays is here in the house.
All right,
is Shane here. Okay,
Shane, this is your first time, isn't it? I think it's.
I can't hear you, Shane.
Shane, your mic's off.
How about that?
That's good.
Okay, there we go. Right. Shane Plays, everybody. Shane Plays is a broadcaster. He does a geek-related radio program here in Central Arkansas in the Little Rock area. He's also like to give out your home address, email address, and all appropriate doxing information, Shane, or where do you want me to start?
I'm like Tony Stark from Iron Man 3. I'll go ahead and throw it up there, even though I know they're going to blow my house off the cliff. So I'm at what's your address, Mitch? That's right. Thanks for the invite. Glad to get on, man. There's Edwin and Umbrella Guy, and wow, this is great. So. So glad to be here. So what are we talking about? I was gone for a minute.
It is a crapshoot. I think I'm trying to choke down just a little bit of wine.
A little bit.
Well, I don't know. A lot less than Benjamin Hennessy, that's for sure.
Well, Mitch, I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail for Ben's the chat we just left, but it's you. Back up.
So somebody literally passed out.
Yeah.
No, he didn't pass out. He left and he was like rip roaring, and then all of a sudden was like, I gotta go, and then boom, he was gone.
Wow.
He popped smoke and he left us in his chat room.
Yeah. He's like, boom, dropped a little Batman smoke pellet. So yeah. I don't know if you saw my. I said that with that mask, this looks like a low budget found footage slasher movie. With that
I was going for what's that? Eyes Wide.
That's what I thought. Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut, which is underrated. I liked it.
I did too. I love that music. That creepy soundtrack to it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. So I'm a big Kubrick fan anyway. So it's pretty hard for me not to like it.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Art School, with your Stanley Kubrick. I bet you like Ingmar Bergman too, don't you?
Well, now don't with me. I do like Seventh Seal actually. I like that the couple in the wagon with their kids survived. So there.
Talking about a small world now. Whenever I get the chance, when I'm not running around like a crazy person, I'm listening to like either Shane or Dave Ellswick. So here I'm in Hawaii listening to some Little Rock radio. Yeah.
Well, if you're going to talk about Dave Ellswick, I got to give some love to Dave Ellswick. He's been keeping it real for like 20 something years. And he's the one who's mentored me into radio. Now the podcasting and YouTube, I've kind of done on my own, but the radio stuff, he's definitely mentored me into doing radio. So.
Edwin,
you got a face for it. That's for sure.
The face for radio.
Yeah,
Edwin has the voice for radio. You really need your own talk show, man.
Yeah, I think so. You've got that golden voice. So and the golden hair. So
yeah. So the reason I'm a writer is because I got a face for radio and a voice for mime. So
so where's everybody? Go ahead.
The talk show guy, you know who should have a talk show is Tug. Man. That guy can keep up like a banter without stop and still coherent. Like after like an hour, I'm low energy. I can't lie. I'm like streaming drains me. But man, you are a machine, Umbrella.
I just like to talk, man. So I mean, if I have nobody on, then maybe I can just ramble. No, what amazes me is that 200 people will pop up and listen to you ramble for 6 hours. I was like, that was a good discussion. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever you say.
That's a good feeling, isn't it? There's something amazing about just talking your heart or whatever and connecting with people. So that's an amazing feeling. I imagine it's the same for these guys creating their comics to be so connecting with people who are so enthusiastic about their projects, which is a segue. I was going to ask, where's everybody's projects at right now? I think they just wrapped Ravage, right?
Space Force is at $126. We just sold another Trump Space Force. Okay, so that was in just the last few minutes.
Nice. Huge.
Yeah, that's absolutely humongous.
You know what Space Force is, don't you?
What?
You know it's a Space Force in space. Say it, Edwin. Say in space.
It's making space great again.
Dude,
I love
Edwin,
it.
that 30-second, 40-second thing you did where it was like vertical takeoff and landing. Oh, dude, that's like that. I was right. That's one of the funniest. I was trying to get Dave to play that on the radio today. He was going to, but he ran out of time. He was like, "Yeah, we'll play it." But
okay, we got.
I have to tell you. Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
I saw that at work. I was like, "Oh my god!" Sorry, man, I didn't cut you off.
Okay, no, it says Lamagigante says Ravage has 3 hours left. So Ravage Kill All Man. There's 3 hours left in Ravage. So get over there and check that out.
Yeah, the more you put into that, it'll go into Ben's liver transplant fund. He's gonna.
Wow,
Ben is a beautiful dude. If anybody in chat hasn't taken a look at Ravage Kill All Man, I've read the script. Chuck Dixon tweaked this thing up. Man, this thing is going to be so much fun. So if you're looking for something just flat out like a red-blooded, juicy adventure, and like even in the script, there's notes like "focus on the woman's breast" in the panel. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that was actually a really good script. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Yes, check that out.
It's one of the cool things about getting to know, like Mitch and Mark and Tim over the past few months. I actually had the pleasure of talking to Chuck Dixon on Friday on the Dave Ellswick show, and that was a real pleasure. And we were talking about it. It's basically like an island full of Sheena of the jungle trying to kill you. So it's like a beautiful dream that turns into a nightmare, really quickly. And I can't remember. He said something else that was real funny off the cuff.
He said it was like do you think it's gonna be a penthouse form letter?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And then it turns into like a Rorschach test of your worst nightmares or something. So yeah, it's really cool. So Space Force, where's Space Force at?
26,000, just above.
Oh, that's awesome.
26. You refreshed again, see if we sold any more. No. Everybody is too drunk to type tonight. It seems like that kind of evening. So hopefully you'll go over to Space Force and Red Rooster and buy the $1,000, $10,000 packages.
Red Rooster's approaching 90K.
Yes, very, very quickly you're approaching 90K. I think we moved the last few days, so we killed it on the first few days. Absolutely amazing on Red Rooster, Golden Age, on Indiegogo. Then we had a couple of days that was a bit of a lull. So I was like, oh man, this feels you kind of lagged a little bit, and now things have accelerated again. We are gaining steam again, moving selling quite a few books every single day, quite a number. If it keeps this up, we're in a great spot. We could fuel the comic book revolution, for comic book revolutionaries far and wide.
So go ahead, Mitch.
Go ahead. No, I'm all done. That was my spiel.
So I know that these individual comics, many of them are not under the same universe, but has anyone added up yet all of Richard Myers, Ethan Skyver's, yours, Tim's? Has anyone added up all these crowdfundings to see what the total is right now?
It is.
I mean, it's got to be
It is over 1 million. Someone did the math this
Wow.
morning.
Wow. If the big boys aren't paying attention, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. If the big people, the big gals too, aren't paying attention, then I mean that's just somebody has to be paying attention somewhere, whether they're publicly admitting it or not.
Well, the optic is also helping like smaller creators out there. You have like the most excited person I think that I've run across tonight is Nasir. He put out his project. He asked for $2,000, and because Ethan got on the stream and Mitch and Ethan and everybody were talking about it, it's almost made 1,000 already. So I mean, you have these creators that think that they're not going to get funded. They have no offense when I say this, I know people get mad about it, but it's indie level stuff, but it has more eyes looking at it. So you have all of these people that are benefiting from it. I think it's a beautiful thing. You have these people bringing validity to what we talk about with all of this, what we need with all of this, and we have so many things to choose from. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And those books are great. I mean, I was actually in a stream with them late last night, right before I jumped on to the Plan 9 from Outer Space roast, and they love it. They like this idea that the more success that we have and the more success that we have in helping each other, everyone will have eyes on each other, and that helps everyone in the end.
Okay, I just want to point out, I agree with that, but I want to point out it looks even more like a found footage horror movie now with Mitch. That Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker? What's going on there?
I don't know. I'm just messing with my lights here.
I got you.
Here we go. Let's put this. No, this is going to really do it.
I'm gonna have nightmares, Dad. I'm getting a screen cap of that. Hold on. I'm doing a screen cap.
He's channeling Ben Henderson's liver right now.
Hey, somebody asked a question in chat a while ago. They flagged Edwin, but they were asking it, directing it at Tim, something about an inaugural roster.
Yeah, what about it?
I think they're asking about the Indiegogo. Something about someone the tiers changed and they're worried if they're going to get. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if they look at the notes, what happened was in the original perk, they did not ask for the shipping address. So what I had to do was I had to basically reset the perk, but it still remembered all the people who donated to it. So I sent out a message saying that if you were among the first 14 people to get that perk, to email me and at least tell me your shipping address so that I can ship your stuff to you. I do have the list of all the people who donated to that perk, but it just doesn't have their shipping information. So I've actually gotten 12 of the 14 people. So 2 of the people I'm still waiting on. So if that's you, then you can email me at ninjaink@gmail.com. That is NINJAINK @gmail.com.
There you go. Get on it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know if you saw, Mitch, but I actually did some chicken on the street interviews today about the Red Rooster.
I caught a little bit of it. Those were some hot hens that you got a hold of.
Yeah, they're hot for a Red Rooster. I knew that would put another tear in your eye. So
is that on Twitter? Do you have that on Twitter?
Yeah, I pushed it out on Twitter. It's on YouTube, but the link went out an hour or two ago. I basically went over to some neighbors that I was chicken setting, believe it or not, and I chased them around with my phone and I interviewed them about the Red Rooster. And either they talked back or else I was making high-pitched chicken female voices. I'm not sure. I'm not going to reveal. They may have actually talked back. So
can you recreate one of those high-pitched chicken voices for us right here?
We love the Red Rooster. We wish he was our rooster. Oh, look at that comb. Oh, look at those spurs. He's such a hunk.
Shane, there are 104 people watching you right now.
I have no shame left. You have no idea.
What's sad is looking at Mitch's thumbnail, you're probably only the second craziest person in here.
The tagline, I ran like a little lower third, like interviewing across the video.
Hey, by the way, wait, what's going on?
I think Edwin's watching it.
Oh.
No. I was just looking in chat, and somebody channeled some Van Halen. Said, "Got it bad,
okay.
got
Hey,
it bad, got it bad."
before I
Hot
forget,
for Rooster.
Shane is
Well, we did-
Shane needs a plug too. Not a tug plug. Well, maybe a tug
Oh,
plug,
everyone
but
needs tug plug.
Hey,
Shane,
The 1-800 type, not the
Shane, tell-
1-900 tug plug.
tell people where to find your. So you're on Twitter. Tell people about Krypton Radio and where they can hear more of your podcasts.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. So if you happen to be in Little Rock, the show goes out on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Central on 101.1, where you can hear Mitch and everybody a lot during the week and occasionally on my show. And then you can go to shaneplays.com. You can go to Krypton Radio. You can go to Twitter at Shane Plays, ShanePlays. And YouTube, go Shane Plays on YouTube. And I mean, the blog or the podcast version of the radio is on iTunes and Stitcher and iHeartRadio and I mean, it's everywhere. It's on SoundCloud. So thanks for the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. No, because you're like a legend here in Little Rock in Arkansas. But when Edwin mentioned that he listens to you in Hawaii, I was like, hey, that's great. You know, people are listening to you nationwide and even worldwide. So yeah, absolutely.
One might say that the show is erupting like a volcano, but then that would be kind of cheesy to say that. So I won't say that. I got it. But hey, I got to give some love.
The Red Rooster protege has arrived.
Oh no, what's going on over?
The Red Rooster in training. Totally is here on camera for our Saturday Night Mayhem chat fest. He looks absolutely thrilled. Light braves the darkness.
Is that your
years?
It looks like underwear on his head. Like someone took tidy whitey on his head.
Oh no. Do you ever go like when nobody's around, Mitch? Do you go, "Do the rooster pin, chum"? You ever do that?
he is totally limp right now. Oh my god!
That cat is gonna kill you in your sleep. Just let you know. He's not gonna let this fly.
If I did that to any of my cats, I would end up in the emergency room if I survived.
He's ridiculously docile. He'll even let us put a chicken costume on him.
I gotta give props to chat. We're getting a couple of people have said Blair Mitch instead of Blair Witch, the Blair Mitch Project.
Oh, the Blair Mitch Project.
Pete Mack and was it Gore? I'm going to say it wrong. Goji Rafi. And then somebody else said something like Paranormal Activity 4, the Bright Wisering or something like that. So, oh yeah.
Yeah, Chumley is like if
and now we get the really intense lighting.
God, if Geppetto gave life to a Beanie Baby, it would be Chumley.
Good old Chumley.
Okay, all right, we'll let him go.
Oh yeah, let him leave with a little.
Mask is hot.
Rescued by Betty.
Okay. All right, let's return to sanity here. You guys are making this chat crazy. It's totally out of hand here on the last comic book artist this evening. I think we got like 111 people here. We only chased off about 10 people with that last bit of madness.
Hey, if anybody leaves during Chumley,
go ahead.
That's their fault. I was saying, if anybody leaves during Chumley, that's their fault. I mean, that's all I gotta say, right?
I don't think it was his fault. I think that was more my fault.
Let's hear some hey there's. Shane, can you do that Umbrella Guy's hey there? Let's hear your best hey there.
You want me to say hey there? Hey there.
Oh, you can't. Not quiet. Not the Umbrella Guy. Hey there. That's yeah.
I'm missing there. I mean, I've watched a lot of the Umbrella Guys streams recently, but I'm not getting the hey there. It's like, hey there.
Hey there.
Hey, so on Umbrella Guy's stream on Friday, we were talking about his new 1-900 number, 1-900 TUG 1-900 tug plug, and Umbrella said he wanted Edwin. Oh, damn, Mike. Yeah, he wanted Edwin to do the promo for it.
Oh yeah,
well, we got you both here.
All I want to know is like, what's the
Is it another lonely night? Don't suffer alone. Pick up the phone and call 1976 Tug Plug.
What's the market for used tug plugs? That's what everybody's dying to know.
It's like that's where you'll never be alone as long as your credit card checks out.
Pete Mac wants
Give us the
everybody's best
3-digit code.
Oh, I
I'm not
shouldn't
even
have
trying
been
to
wearing
do
these
that.
skinny jeans. Oh.
I would
Hey, actually,
actually go
that
ahead.
umbrella guy, that's what you should call your super chats from now on.
Tug plugs.
Tug plugs, yeah.
Want to invest in a tug plug? Yeah. Actually, have you seen the Discord that you can set up and it does like a little animation that pops up when people donate and all that?
No, because I can't get into Discord. No one will help me.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't gotten up Discord yet.
Here's your primer for it. Download Discord.
I gotta take some
Sign in.
Aren't you, Tim, though, aren't you still like streaming off like a Nokia brick phone?
He skipped the Nokia part. It's just a brick.
Yeah, he's got the tin can with the length of string on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Umbrella, I've got a technical support call for you. March Hare says they keep getting a busy signal. What should they do?
Just keep donating.
Well, I hate to tell you, March Hare, but your 3-digit code on the back didn't check out. So you need to reach out through the website.
Yeah, you get the stern hey there, not the sexy one. Sorry.
Hey there. Thanks for calling the Tug Plug line. Oh yeah, baby.
Hey, and the other thing I just noticed too is I think we're all from the South.
Are we?
Relatively. No one knows where the umbrella guy's from. But we know
I'm from
that.
Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, South Wakanda though.
South Wakanda. Okay, that counts.
Jack Straw wants everyone to sing Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
What is Chocolate Rain?
Can you sing
What is
Sexual Chocolate from Coming to America? Sexual Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Sexual Chocolate. You remember that scene from Coming to America when they're in the church raising money?
Oh no, I have to look that one up.
All right.
I was telling Chuck Dixon I wanted Chuck Dixon to cover who yeah, it was Genuine, My Pony. Yeah, imagine me and Chuck Dixon doing My Ponies.
That'd be great.
Oh my God, people are circulating pictures of you and Chumley online.
Oh, really?
Well, Turtle Comic says when it says, someone help, a madman is taking control of Brightweiser's camera and is threatening a poor feline.
Hey, Shane, have you ever caught Yellow Flash's show?
I haven't. No. I see that he's in the chat right now.
Is he?
He is the master.
Let's get him in here.
Yeah,
let's get Yellow Flash in.
Here. What's up?
Let me see if he was on the invite list. I sent it to like everybody. Was he there?
Yellow Flash, you want in here, man? You can hey there pretty well, you know?
Yeah, Yellow Flash is a berserker. It's great.
Well, there goes all our reputations.
Yeah. I got such a sterling one before this. What's up?
You got to live on the wild side.
He's got the invite on Twitter, so if he wants to jump on, he can. It's on Twitter. You got the DM.
And he just woke up.
Maybe he just killed someone.
Hey,
he's washing his hands from the hit.
He's walking around with Big Clay Moore as a skin suit. He made a helmet out of his head.
I've been playing that.
It was just metaphorical.
Just metaphorical. I've been playing that scene from Phantasm where B. Clay Moore called him a boy. So I've been playing that from Phantasm. Where the tall man busts in and says that and chases the kid. I've been saying that's Yellow Flash in every streams.
Does B. Clay Moore have an army of hooded midgets who work for him too?
Probably.
They're on
Man, Phantasm is one of those movies I watched. I watched it on like VHS in the 80s. I didn't even know what it was about. So it's like, what in the crap am I watching? All I can remember is that ball that would chase you around and like stick in your head. And then
do you know what it's about now?
Sort of. It's, you got the tall man who's stealing bodies to turn into these little dwarf people.
Yeah, compressed
and all that. But But nothing will ever. Yeah, that the first time you see that ball flying through the morgue hallway or whatever.
No,
So
I'm telling you, what it's about is a young boy that is actually, it's about fear for a young boy that's afraid of an old man's balls. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's something about midgets.
That's the underlying psychology. All right.
Yeah.
Man,
I understand that. I'm afraid too.
He thought you were at a disadvantage, Shane. The first Phantasm movie I saw was Phantasm 3.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean,
Phantasm 3 and figuring out what's going on there. Like, what the hell?
Nunchucks.
Yeah, why are they fighting an old man's balls with nunchucks? What's doing? Who's this bald guy with a quadruple barrel shotgun?
So what was like? Didn't the tall man actor die and they replaced him in some of the later movies?
No, he died like at the 11th hour, right before they finished filming Phantasm 5. So they got all of his scenes done, and then Angus passed away. So he never got replaced. Luckily,
they had to CGI him though because he was like so old he couldn't actually.
He couldn't stand. Yeah, it was sad.
Oh, wow.
Well, he never saw that movie. I mean, there is a plus and minus. Sad that he died, but plus he never saw that piece of crap movie.
Oh yeah, Ravager was not the way I'd want to end my career necessarily. But yeah, I like parts of Ravager. I'm kind of glad we got it, but yeah, not the best one in the series.
So we got a couple questions in the chat. Let me address all these here. So somebody wants to know. Peter wants to know who everybody is. So I'm going to go on from. So the rabbit is Tim Lim.
That's me.
He has an Indiegogo with a Chuck Dixon currently called Trump Space Force. I call it the greatest space farce since Spaceballs. And I, of course, am the last comic book artist, Mitch Breitweiser. We were just cutting loose on a Sunday night. The gentleman to my right is Shane Stacks from Shane Plays Radio here in Central Arkansas. You have, and somebody else wants to know, Shane, do you have a YouTube channel they can sub?
I do. Yeah, it's Go Shane Plays. Somebody named Shane out there does Let's Plays, so there's a Shane Plays channel already. But yeah, just search for Shane Plays or go to YouTube/Go Shane Plays.
Tim, what's your YouTube channel?
I don't know the name of it. Just type in Timothy Lim or Air Force Bun. We don't have that many videos up. We have less than 8, I think. So we're actually pretty fledgling. But yeah, Timothy Lim is my handle. Air Force Bun is the channel header. And just look for the rabbit.
Okay, the guy next to Shane is that Umbrella Guy. Umbrella Guy, why don't you tell us just in brief about your show and what the name of your channel?
Yeah, hey there. That's That Umbrella Guy. It's basically like autism without counting the sticks. So welcome.
Okay, well, next to Umbrella Guy is Mr. Creepy, Mark Pellegrini, my esteemed co-plotter and script man on the Red Rooster Golden Age Indiegogo campaign smash hit. Don't miss it out. Go get it right now. Don't miss out on that. Awesome chicken. Put some hot sauce on it. You have anything you want to say there, Mark?
Nah, I'm good. Sometimes I show up on.
I'm really good about to put some hot sauce on it.
Sometimes you're too modest, dude. And I know people are just finding out about you, but if anybody doesn't know who Mark Pellegrini is, he is going to be the premier writer for comic books probably in the next decade or so if he decides to stick with it.
I can also turn water into wine if I feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Be quiet because I'm praising you. He's probably if he sticks with it, he could be the next Chuck Dixon. He could be the next Chuck Dixon. He's a really great writer, and he's way too modest sometimes.
It really is. I mean, it's really is surprising because his writing is very strong and very tight. And I think how many comic books have you done now, Mark? I mean,
I haven't even stopped to count. I guess I did Thump with Tim, and then Mogademia, and then we did Black Ops 1 and 2, and I've already done the first draft on Red Rooster Golden Age, and I already did the first draft on issue 1 of the Red Rooster ongoing, and I wrote a book, and I'm writing another book, and then I'm going to be working on Futurists with Mitch, and I did the script punch-up on Trump Space Force. So that should be enough for Comic Vine. They can let me in now.
They can let you. What I mean, seriously, your work comes off much tighter and stronger than it's a lot of comic writers. Like it takes a while for them to get that tight in their writing. So
stop it, you.
No, serious. And I gotta second Edwin, because a lot of the times when you're in interviews, people will say, "What do you think, Mark?" And you'll be like, "Well, they covered it," and it's like, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, you definitely carry your own weight.
Tell them, Mark, about your prose book or your poetry book that you have on
my poetry book. Why, yes.
I want to hear about your poetry slam. Let's set that
my
up.
Poetry slam. Yeah,
that's next Saturday's live stream. A Mark Pellegrini poetry slam. Don't miss it.
I'll tell you all about my disastrous deaf comedy jam at the Apollo Theater. They're alive. I did write a book. I wrote it with John Lim. I call him Limey because autocorrect always misspells his name. It's called The Ballad of Doc Holliday and the Blood-Sucking Locomotive. That's a hell of a title. I got so it's available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon. It's my first book. The entire thing, as the title ballad implies, is written in couplets, so it's a novel-length poem about cowboys and vampires in the Old West. And I had a lot of fun writing it. Hopefully it'll be just as much fun for people to read it. And yeah, that was I cut my teeth on my first novel, and then I started writing. First, I wrote that kid's book with Tim, Thump, the First 100 Days, which is also available on Amazon. And then I got into writing comics with Tim, and now Mitch, and now Chuck Dixon, evidently. So yeah, I'm getting out there.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
The last, bringing up the rear, the man with the worst hair and the lousiest voice on the fringes of comic book land, Mr. Edwin Boyette.
So basically, I'm a middle-aged guy who talks into my phone too much.
I can relate.
Yeah, man, that's pathetic. What's no? I mean, wait, that really resembles my life.
Edwin's got the golden voice.
You do, man.
Yeah. You're like one of those people that can say, I gotta take a crap in a pickle jar, and it just sounds freaking amazing. Yeah.
Now I want to hear him say it. Say it, Edwin.
Say it, Edwin.
I don't know what you punks are doing, but I've got to take a crap in a pickle jar.
Lord.
Yeah, it's.
I'm looking for the setting on my mic that makes me sound like that. I'm looking for the balls.
I know, right?
Yellow Flash is here.
Yellow Flash.
Hey, all right. Okay.
Hey there.
Oh man.
Hey there.
You just missed the most amazing thing ever said by Edwin.
I just woke up. I've been taking these naps, and then they're supposed to be naps, and then I end up waking up 3 hours later. So I don't know.
That's my kind of nap.
Do you drink before?
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds more like a pass out.
No, there's no drinking.
Yellow Flash is like Snoop Dogg in those old Girls Gone Wild commercials. And then the party really gets started when Yellow Flash shows up.
What's funny is Edwin's like, I got to take a crap in a pickle jar. And then Yellow Flash pops in. So that's like the new, was it Johnny Thunder when you say you and Johnny Thunder pops up? It's like, I got to take a crap in a pickle jar. And somebody interesting will pop into Mitch's.
It's like saying Shazam, but different.
Way different.
That's how you
summon Yellow Flash. Huh?
You summon Yellow Flash by saying you have to take a crap in a pickle jar. It's like saying 7 to summon Nurkish.
You need someone
I need to know what you're
talking about crapping because the dude's trying to bust cheeks lately.
What are you guys talking about? Comic books?
Do you ever wonder if those haters, like the people who don't like us too much, if they're in our stream right now and they're like, these people are depraved?
Yes, I'm sure they.
I guarantee you something will go out about this. One time 4 years ago, Edwin Skyver, or not Edwin Skyver, Ethan Skyver, and Ethan's not even here to be like, Ethan Skyver took a crap in a pickle jar in Times Square at noon in front of everybody. It'll somehow morph into that.
I'm gonna
put
the three of you in a telepod like the Fly, and you're gonna come out as Edwin Bright Skyver.
Sorry, I didn't mean to leave the clan meeting so soon.
We can't start without a Grand Wizard.
Oh no!
Don't be afraid. No, you should be afraid. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Wait a minute.
Grand Wizard, right? It's the Flash.
Timothy Lim is the president of the alt-right, right? I mean, that's been confirmed by.
He's the whitest guy I know.
Yeah.
The Mary Sue.
He's a white nationalist. The Tim Lim, yes, everyone. The most famous Asian.
Yeah. The white streak.
I might be yellow on the outside, but I'm really, really, really white on the inside.
Oh well,
It's albino Asian.
To show respect to the beliefs and worldview of our squishy leftist brethren, and if Tim wants to identify as a white supremacist, who are we to say otherwise? I mean, so Tim, you can identify however you want, pal, and that's okay with me. You're safe with me.
Thank you. That's that means a lot. I'm very touched.
Okay.
So do you guys know Ian Miles Cheong?
Oh my gosh,
Cheong?
Ian Miles Cheong. Awesome.
He just befriended me a couple days ago. I've been following him for a while, so he just followed me back, and he just said, "This looks like fun." So I'm going to send him an invite. We'll see if this happens.
What happened to him hosting the Kumite? That just did not last very long.
I don't know.
Who is it? Who is this?
Ian Miles Cheong. He writes for Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hosting the Kumite for a while, and then he just stopped. I don't know what happened.
Well, we'll find out here if he gets in.
You can ask him.
It looks like it's starting to fire back up because I saw Failures on there again now. He was gone for a long. They had a big falling out when they went on Mr. Medicare's channel, and
oh god, it was like
all went on there. Yeah, it was like 3 hours of just everyone screaming at each other. It was beautiful.
Now, so does he still write for the Daily Caller? I'm just looking him up right now on his Twitter.
I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe it's a different.
Pete Max says Tim is transitioned to Caucasianness. How do you feel about that, Tim? Have you?
Well, the truth about Tim is
are you transracial, Tim? I mean, I guess if what's his name can do it, that Sean King can do it, then Tim, I guess
Talcum Mix.
Well, Tim's not really Asian. He's like French Stewart. He just squints a lot.
Yeah. And I'm really, really sleepy. That's really my trick, but don't tell anyone. I think it's because I like to dress like a ghost a lot. I think that's what's confusing everyone.
I'm looking at Edwin's picture, and he has this look like, "How the hell did I get here?"
Oh my god!
I think everyone.
It's just a misunderstood. It's just a misunderstood s'mores party, right?
Well, it took Tim a long time to lose his accent. When I first met him, we started plotting Thump. He would talk to me. He'd always talk to me the same way. He'd sound like, "Gonna draw a book about Donald Trump."
That's like plotting Thump sounds like you were planning a porno or something. He's gonna sing it to you. I'm gonna plan a porno Thump.
Ian Miles Cheong is coming on, so be on your best behavior.
No, wait.
I have a feature article tomorrow.
But now we're gonna have two white supremacists on this channel.
Oh no!
Are you feeling threatened? Or is your special spot feeling threatened?
It is. I'm less marginalized because now there's two marginalized people here who are also white supremacists. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm having an existential crisis.
Did somebody say egg?
Egg. Exactly, Mitch.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. But as long as they don't smell foul.
Well, you see that Mitch keeps yoking people into the stream. I'm sorry.
Hey, hello everyone.
The beast from the east, Ian Miles Cheong.
Hey,
welcome
the
to
clan
the
meeting is complete now.
Yeah, welcome to the clan meeting.
Clan meeting.
They're officially two.
Where the hoods.
I don't know. Welcome to my channel, Ian. I've been following you for a while. You just followed me a couple days ago. This is a mad Sunday night mashup live stream. We have two. We have Asian white supremacist Tim Lim, artist of Thump, Bane of the Mary Sue, and many others. Say hello. Nice. I don't know who you know here. We have Yellow Flash, Shane Plays, who's a local geek radio host here in Central Arkansas. Umbrella Guy, who is the CFO of Comicsgate.
That's right.
The man with the ugliest voice on the internet, Edwin Boyette.
Edwin Boyette. Yeah, I've seen your videos. You sent them to me. I replied to them, not in video form, but in text form. Good videos, good replies.
Wait, you don't reply to them in video form? Damn, that's it.
What should happen now? What should happen now is that Timothy Lim should challenge Ian Miles Cheong to a kung fu fight to determine who will be the new grandmaster. The new grandmaster.
No, I have the perfect competition for him.
The kung fu battle, though.
No, it's whichever one of you
white nationalists.
Whichever one of you finishes my math homework.
50 tweets that just went on that. About 50 tweets just hit Twitter right now on that.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Here it is. It's gonna be official. Okay, hold on. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna challenge you to a kung fu match.
I see you still haven't lost your accent then.
Yeah. So, Ian, the discussion before you popped in was that Tim's feeling a little threatened in his white supremacist niche with you showing up. So he feels he's going to be displaced from his special spot.
Yeah, according to BuzzFeed, I'm a far-right personality.
Far-right?
Yeah, far-right personality.
You've exceeded alt-right. You like hit ludicrous speed. You get right past alt-right, and now you're far-right.
Far-right, yeah.
Yeah, follow the alt-right, take a right, yeah.
Well, what right of the right of what? Because you're not even in the same continent that we are.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm in Asia.
Oh, that's right. Where are you at? Tell everyone.
I'm exactly in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
I'm in Malaysia. Yeah.
So, are you following comic books, Ian? What's your gauge on what's going on here?
My gauge on what's going on is that social justice warriors are doing their darndest to inject ideology into comic books, and they're making a mess of things because no one else is buying it.
And we're doing our best to inject humor, enthusiasm, audience engagement, personality, and love through the internet tubes.
And lots of clan jokes. Don't forget lots of clan jokes.
Oh no,
politically incorrect jokes.
Right.
Good jokes.
Rich Johnson has got his notepad out, and he's like, yeah.
Oh no. Oh yeah, you know it.
In North Little Rock, what we've done, we don't wear the clan hood because that's too noticeable. We have the clan fedora, so I'm putting this on in your but see, the secret is this isn't actually a fedora, it's a trilby. It just looks like a fedora. Yeah, so if it's actually a trilby and it's in North Little Rock, you're actually a member of the clan. We're going to go out and burn some stuff later.
Okay, Shane, I want you to do one thing for me. Look into the camera, tip your fedora forward, and say, "Milady."
Milady?
That's going to be a clip. Good luck living that one.
This means something, man. It means something.
It gives me confidence. Okay.
It's the magic trilby of racial hate.
Oh no.
Induct you into the Sacred Order of the White Knights, defending my lady's honor.
All women are queens.
I shall stand when they enter the room.
Hey, Nasser 13, the guy who wrote Stardust, he's already passed 1,000.
Oh, wonderful! Yes, so Nasser,
man. Good job.
Nasser's in the chat. He has a question. He says, "Yellow Flash, I'm going to go to bed in a few minutes. I'm just letting you know that Stardust passed 1,000. Congratulations, Nasser." Nasser 13 in the chat.
Congratulations.
He's got a new book on Indiegogo. I think he's passed his $1,000 goal in the first. Passed 1,000 in the first day. What's his goal? 3,000?
$2,050.
So yeah, Nasser has been a stalwart member of the chat community here on several of our channels, and he sends us cool art sometimes. And he seems like an all-around brave and nice fellow.
He also is the guy that called out CB Cebulski at C2E2. He's the guy that got up there and said, "Hey, what about Max Bemis?" Yeah,
that's him. Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was brave. That took balls.
I mean, that's my hero. Yeah,
The
that's
only,
Well, you know where he got.
The only thing you missed though was the whoo,
like a Ric Flair woo, or like was it a Ric Flair kind of woo?
It's kind of like drop the mic and then take a dump in a pickle jar right on stage.
I gotta take a crap in a pickle jar. Oh,
Have you guys been to the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel? It's like a cooking channel.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? That was weird. What happened to that?
Well, now there's a Marvel HQ thing where they show animated cartoons or whatever. Is that the same thing, or are we talking about something different?
I just know if you go to Marvel Studios or Marvel Entertainment or whatever on YouTube, it's like seriously like cooking stuff.
It's got a variety of
talking about what he's eating for lunch. Is that what it is? CB Cebulski?
Yeah, he's like cooking it it's like a cooking channel. He just cooks it up and everything. He's like turning into like Marvel character pancakes and shit.
They did say that they were going to become a lifestyle brand, like Martha Stewart or Oprah.
Oh yeah, it's not a boys club anymore, fellas.
Yeah, but which lifestyles are they branding?
Interspersed with
the tip the fedora
clips on the TV shows, like that. What's the name of that TV show, Cloak and Dagger, where they talk about their privilege? Oh God!
You need to check your privilege.
Oh no!
Yeah, I've seen that.
When I walk into a room, everybody looks at me. When you walk into a room, nobody questions you. And this is something being said to a girl who was
she
raped,
almost got raped. Or something.
Yeah, she almost got raped, right? And the police refused to take her statement because she's a girl. And this is what he's saying to her.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
she also grew up.
She
grew up in like a dumpster or something too, like a dumpster, and he like had some suburban house. Yeah, he's like telling her he needs to check her privilege.
Well,
your privilege, Whitey.
Who is this mess made for?
SJW's Tumblr.
Woke people, man. Come on.
It's made for the contents of your pickle jar.
For people who want to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham, but get triggered every time something problematic happens on screen. So they're like, well, I need something woker than this.
Yeah.
And those shows are not very woke at all. Even though the actors and the creators are, they don't put their wokeness in the show, which is a credit to them.
It's for the brokest 5% of the population.
The brokest of the wokest.
I'm shooting for the wealthiest 95% of the population with Red Rooster Golden Age on Indiegogo back and now. Jim Helis is in the chat, says Blue Mamba. There's another Indiegogo book called Blue Mamba. I haven't really had a chance to look at it yet. He says it's almost at $1,500 today. So if you feel so inclined, go check out Blue Mamba, as well as Nasser's book. What's the name of Nasser's book? I forget.
It's called Stardust.
Stardust. Okay, we backed it today, so Stardust.
So since we got Ian here, man, what do you think of this? What do you think of this stuff compared to like Gamergate? Do you see any similarities or anything?
Oh, absolutely. There's so much similarities. Obviously with Gamergate, it was games journalists who were going against gaming enthusiasts, gamers. Here, it's the same thing. You see these comics journalists, people in comics, the professionals who are going against comics enthusiasts, and anyone who dares to speak against them. It's very similar. It's identical, even.
Well, I want to ask you a question real quick. So people in the chat might not know who Ian Miles Cheong is, and if that's the case, this is a great opportunity. Ian Miles Cheong is like the Mercer of our movement, because like Mercer from G.I. Joe was a former Cobra operative who became a G.I. Joe member. Ian Miles Cheong wasn't SJW until Gamergate. So he knows all of their secrets. He knows all their mentalities. He knows their strategy. So what advice do you think you can give us? Because you were on that side. You fought this battle once before. Now you're seeing what's happening here. So I think you have a pretty interesting perspective to help us.
I would say that you have a much better fighting chance against these people versus the Gamergaters, because in Gamergate, it wasn't so much an organized movement. There's nothing organized about it. It was just anybody could be a Gamergate supporter or whatever. And there were many trolls and harassers who did so just to stir shit up, right? With Comicsgate, you have professionals like yourselves, and you're all professionals organizing. And this is a big thing. You have a community that's rallying around you, Gamergate did not have any of that. It had maybe a handful of professional developers, some of whom are very prominent, but they were alone. They were standing alone, and no one was there to support them. With Comicsgate, you have a much better chance. You have veterans of this industry, of the comics industry, standing up and uniting and organizing. So that's what you need to do. You need to keep on organizing. You need to keep holding these types of streams and supporting the entire community. And don't let drama bog you down, because that was one of the biggest pitfalls of Gamergate. There was a lot of internal drama.
There you have it.
The one thing I wonder if it's different here is that comics has already been a shrinking piece of pie for some time, and it's a much smaller industry, like per capita wise, than video games. So video games has this. If its cash flow is really great overall, then it can sustain I don't know, strange ideologies or weird behaviors or whatnot, and not have it not affect the bottom line right away. But in comic books, that effect can be felt very quickly, and that's right. I'm wondering if you see that as a difference.
That is a big major difference with with video games. If you try to make an indie game that's like social justice oriented, no one's going to buy it, so they don't really sell. And for a while, the media was trying to push these games to the public, but people weren't buying it. People lost trust in the games media. They went to YouTube instead to get their recommendations from people. With comic books, it is a much smaller industry, and it's much more fragile because of that, right? Any mistake you make can essentially spell doom for your product. And this is a strength for you guys, because you're actually making stuff that people want to read. People want to see the stuff that you're making. With the social justice warriors, the people on the progressive socialist side of things, they're not making anything that people want. So they're at risk, and that's the reason why they're fighting so hard right now to basically maintain their livelihoods. You guys have them by the throat, and all you have to do is go in for the kill shot at this point, really.
No, all they have to do is to transfer that energy from fighting us into making good products that people want to buy, but they're never going to do that. So.
but then they would lose the adulation of their peers, which is
you did see that glorious, beautiful angel is now going to be writing a comic book for DC under the Vertigo label.
Yeah, but she can't sell it to people because there's not 5 dudes. There's no, I mean, who are the 5 guys she's going to sleep with? It's not going to be Rich Johnson. I don't think she would sleep with him.
Rich Johnson.
No one's going to buy it. I mean, like, okay, obviously that's a hyperbole, right? People are going to buy it, but it's not going to see the same sales as any of your books. Like, you guys are making products that people actually want. The only people who are going to be marketing the book for her are going to be social justice warriors, progressives in the gaming industry, in the entertainment industries, people who are friends with her. They're going to write glowing reviews about the book, whether it's good or not.
It's going to be the greatest comic in the world when they write it.
Oh, the second coming of Kim and Kim. Sure.
Yeah.
What book is it? What are we talking about here? I'm missing.
Zoe
Quinn,
about America's Sweetheart, a glorious angel.
It's the woke Matrix, pretty much. If you want
Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to jump all over that.
They're just mad that because with Harvey Weinstein in jail, that means no more movie deals for him.
No more movie deals for them. Yeah, she actually had a deal with those companies, the Weinstein company.
Oh, I wonder how that happened.
How many units do you think these?
What's the movie's going to be her crying at a computer, though? I don't like.
They canceled it. Amy Pascal, right? Amy Pascal was leading it. They had a deal with, she published a book under Hachette, right? Hachette Publishing, and they are tied to the Weinstein company. So it was very incestuous, and obviously Amy Pascal fucked up with those letters that she wrote about Obama, those emails that got leaked from Sony. And on top of that, in addition to the fuck up, she fucked up Ghostbusters, so she lost. All of them.
I was gonna say Amy Pascal, the genius behind Ghostbusters, answered
Mark loves.
Well, you don't like that movie?
Oh no,
Mark loves it.
I got the scars on my wrists to prove how much I like that movie. Sure.
Who are you like that movie? I hear you're sexist, though.
Right. Who are you going to call? A support line.
You're gonna call.
That's what it takes.
Hey, Umbrella Guy, how many units of that book do you think are going to move? You're the numbers guy.
I don't know. Not over 20,000. Let's see.
I think it'll ship 30,000. That's shipped though.
Yeah, it will ship.
Yeah.
They'll market it
Right.
I think
heavily.
it's going to do better than a Young Animal imprint, because the Young Animal imprint, everybody was talking about how great that would do. Mags with Saggio, build up Mags, and
That's the
it moved,
superstar Max
yeah.
Saggio.
Well, I think
Got
they were also pushing pretty hard. Is it Jody Hauser? Which one is it that's with My Chemical Romance? I think they were kind of counting on.
That's not Jody Hauser's actually pretty good at some of their stuff.
Rob Sheridan, though, he's out there too.
Who's the guy from My Chemical Romance? Hold on a second. He was editing it.
He's from 9 Inch Nails.
Trent Reznor?
Rob Sheridan. No, Rob Sheridan's like, I did the. Anytime he gets in an argument, he's like, but I did the art for Trent Reznor. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. That's pathetic. He's like, I wrote on a bathroom stall that Trent Reznor used once. Great.
He's another edgy anarchist.
They all are.
Yeah.
Hillary Quinn, for example, likes to talk about how she's a field medic for Antifa.
Oh God, I was looking. I'd never
Cookies.
seen that before. Oh,
A field medic.
Here, miss.
You know what field medics do? All they do is they bring the milk. Right? They literally carry milk bottles. That's it. That's what.
I saw her pack. I saw her pack it had fruit chips in it. I was like,
self-care for the self-care. They might face a Proud Boy who gives them a mean stare.
Yeah. So the guy I looked it up online, but people in the chat are throwing it out there too. It's Gerard Way from
Gerard Way. Yeah, he's the main guy from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, he was involved. I think he was like kind of the main editor trying to put it all together for the Young Animal stuff. Yeah. So maybe I think they were counting on kind of bringing in, his following, and then it's kind of a new Vertigo, but not. And actually, I'm not saying that I thought it would be amazing, but it kind of started winding down quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah, it fell apart. Well, this new guy, Mark Doyle, he has no social media that's putting together Vertigo. I mean, I found a couple of interviews with that where he does talk about social justice and whatnot, but he has nothing, no imprint to look at before. But, you can see who he hired for projects to get a feel for.
Why can't they just give us more stuff like 100 Bullets? I love those runs. Those are fantastic.
There's one guy on that group I like. That was Braylon Edwards. What's his name, Tug?
Yeah, that's
Brian Hill.
Brian Hill. Yeah,
he's a decent dude.
Yeah, I like Brian. I like what he's doing on Michael Cray, and I'm looking forward. I haven't read it yet, but he's writing a few issues of Detective Comics. I'm looking.
Yeah, those have been great too.
Yeah,
well, and he's also like a really good pro. He's had some interesting interactions, and he's always diffused them in a professional manner. So it's weird to see that associated with like Zoe Quinn and stuff like that.
Right. Well, he's actually, I've been talking to him on Twitter. He's very conversational. He will talk back to you on Twitter. And one of the villains in the Michael Cray comic book, what they're doing is they're doing twisted versions of mainstream DC Comics characters, and he's hunting them down and killing them. And the most current one is Constantine, who is like this bald warlock. And I went, is that supposed to be Grant Morrison? And he came back and basically said, oh, I'm not going to say it's Grant Morrison, but yeah, that's supposed to be Grant Morrison. I thought that's good. Funny. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, hey, gentlemen, I've got to go. I've got to go wash all these pickle jars.
I salute you, Edwin. I salute you.
So, Shane and Ian, was good to get a chance
to
talk to you in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Edwin and anybody else that's on this chat, you guys you have an invite. I'll work you on the show sometime if you want to come on. Just try to have fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so cool. All right.
Bye, Edwin.
Yeah, Edwin.
I'll tell you.
I finally got rid of that guy.
Let's do our Edwin impersonations like we did with Ben Hennessy.
Let me tell y'all something. Out of everybody I've ever met who could take a crap in a pickle jar, Edwin can take the best crap in a pickle jar out of anybody I've ever met.
That's a strange skill right there. But
hey, you never know. It might come in handy.
Is it true that Ben passed out on stream?
No, I was just making that up. No, now the
it's going around like it's going around like light now.
It was funny. He was drunk. Like,
yeah.
But that dude has so much. He's so high tea. Like Mark and I were chatting with him for over an hour. Then everyone started jumping in, and he was getting so red in the face, and he was literally like talking. He's like, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. And he just dropped.
He
left us in his chat. Like his chat was still going live, and he just died. Like he just dropped off the face of the planet. So we just hijacked his stream for like 15 minutes, and yeah, it was crazy.
What I just read came across Twitter is a live on camera. He was trying to do the first live stream of taking a crap in a pickle jar, and he just passed out.
No. It wasn't like that.
He's excited because Ravage made $30,000+.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard him on one of the streams. I know he jumped on the day that Mitch first launched. Who is this guy? He sounds pretty fun.
Oh, he's a relative newcomer. I mean, he's an exciting dude. I remember the first time I ran into him, he was talking about boxing Tim Doyle, you know. And from there, he came in and he was like, "Yeah, I'm launching this thing," you know. I was like, "All right, cool." He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to get Chuck Dixon." I was like, "All right, cool." He's like, "You want to talk to Chuck Dixon online?" I was like, "For real?" You know. So he's a pretty straight up dude. I mean, he's always going though. But yeah, I mean, he came.
I didn't know what to think of him at first, right? It's like I'm the same way because he was kind of came in with a lot of guys come in and they talk really big, right? And then he was like, okay. And then his book sounded really cool. And then he got all these people involved, and then now he brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and he knows a lot of people. He starts businesses. He's clearly very successful. So yeah, I think there's still maybe an hour or so left on Ravage. If you want to go check out Ravage Kill All Men, it's on Indiegogo right now. I think the clock is ticking. If you want to back that, you better do it now. If you want to back
2 hours left.
2 hours left.
Wait a minute.
It looks good.
6,000.
If Ben hears this afterwards, we may have been giving you a hard time, but I just
let me tell you something about Ben Hennessy. He's from my hometown, Springfield, Virginia, and in Springfield we got two things: steers and queers. Actually, no, we only have one.
And you ain't got no horns on you. And I don't see no horns on you, right? So now, wait a minute. I think I'm putting two and two together, and I don't want to put steers and queers together. I'm talking about Ben, and so is he Cautionary Comics?
Yes, Ben is
okay.
Cautionary.
All right, I get it. Okay, all right. The dots they connect.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Ben is a good dude though. I mean, he's a good guy. I think he would be a guy you'd want to sit down and have a drink with.
And do a live stream with until he passes out.
Yeah. We're going to Mexico.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He kind of tilts off camera.
I told him, we were talking about it in the stream. Actually, I think it was before. I told him that, hey, if you deliver on Ravage, which I know you will, when that gets fulfilled, like you're gonna get a lot of attention because the one thing that he has going for him is he has a legit company and he has these big ideas, big promises, and he's delivering one item at a time. And I'm like, kudos to you. That's like really cool that you're able to do all of this. So, I think we all had the same kind of opinion. It's like, yeah, he comes in with all these ideas, talks big. I think he's like a modern Yosemite Sam, but he executes, man. He pulls it off.
He's the most rootin' tootin'est comic book publisher this side of the Pecos.
That's pretty much it. Gosh, Booker T is in the chat, everybody. I like Booker T.
Are we jacked?
She's looking real jacked today.
Everybody looking real jacked.
Everybody's looking jacked. Go to the gym. Stay healthy. All that good stuff. Yeah. All right. Everybody loves Booker T. Everybody loves Ian. Everybody loves Ian in the chat. Yeah, and everybody loves Edwin. So
yeah. Well, I feel so I can go to the gym when Booker T will just tell me I'm jacked anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Well, nobody. Yeah. Well, nobody.
Yeah, I am. By the way, I am jacked right now. You can tell. Like, look at my avatar.
So, I don't even want to. You guys don't want me to swole up because I'll break the stream.
Their avatar looks like Jordan Peterson's art. The carpet that he tries to sell, the $2,000 carpet.
Oh yeah, that's right. It does kind of remind me of that.
I thought with the break the stream, it sounds like a bad cut of Ghostbusters or something. Did you break the stream? Oh shit! Cross the stream. My bad.
Grant Hall asks, where can they watch the live stream with Ben Henderson? It's on his channel called, I think it's Cautionary Comics on YouTube. I think that's his channel.
The stream is called I Passed Out Live. No, really.
You just want to watch the last 5 minutes of it.
So we were talking on Ellswick the other day about I Spit on Your Grave. This is like I Passed Out Live. It's like the new gritty horror. I Passed Out Live.
And he didn't really pass out.
We're not really tame version of I Spit on Your Grave, Dad. If you only pass out live.
Hey Mitch, you need to call this particular video I crapped in a pickle jar.
No, it should be called "I was born to murder this live stream."
Oh no, I like crapped in a picker jar, a guest starring Ian Miles Cheong. That'll bring in the views.
All right, I love it. Well, hey, I'm gonna follow Edwin's leave. I gotta drop and get a little bit done, and then do the work thing in the morning and all that. But hey, appreciate the invite. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Shane. Yeah, you're gonna have to become a regular guest here in our circuit.
A tip of my fedora to you.
Yes, everybody tip their fedora to Shane.
Tipping my hat here, pretending it's a fedora.
Hold on, here we go, ma'am. I'm sorry to tell you, I crapped in your pickle jar.
Good night, Shane.
All right, see you guys later. This was a lot of fun. Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut out too. It's
all right. Yeah, I think everybody's gonna be heading out. I gotta get to work in the morning. I gotta be at work at 9 o'clock.
Responsibility, blah blah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go hit the sack, and then I think I'll go to bed.
This is all right.
Is that about getting jacked? Hitting the sack? Is that like a punching bag?
This is all code for the cross burning, right?
Booker T, want to help me get jacked? Yeah.
All right, everybody. We're closing down the stream, and let me give everybody's give a shout out, everybody. So Yellow Flash, your channel.
Yellow Flash Comics, do reviews and usually talk about some other kind of wrong thing.
Yeah, he's a troublemaker, everybody. Watch out. Tim Lim has an Indiegogo going right now called Trump Space Force with Chuck Dixon. I call it the greatest space farce since Spaceballs. Go check it out on Indiegogo. Tim, you have anything else you want to add?
No, you pretty much covered it. It's also being I guess co-scripted with Mark Pellegrini, so he just left a chat, but it's up on Indiegogo. Also, our book Black Hops issue 1 came out last week, so if you go to your local comic book shop, please be sure to check it out.
Wonderful. Our celebrity guest star, he's big on Twitter, Ian Miles Cheong. You want anything you want to add?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's the same name as my Twitter account. It's youtube.com/stillgray. I talk about drama, controversies in video games, entertainment, media, comics, everything. So it's a new channel. I have very few subscribers, but I appreciate views, appreciate the subscriptions.
Excellent. That umbrella guy, give us your last tug plug.
All right. It's that umbrella guy. Yeah, I'm going to steal Ian Miles Cheong's thing. It's all about whatever he said, plus the Rain Man, I think. Okay, anyway.
All right. And last but not least, Mr. Creepy Mark Pellegrini. I'm going to make that nickname stick. My collaborator on Red Rooster. Why don't you close us out with a Red Rooster plug for our Indiegogo campaign?
Well, first I got to do a plug for Tim, but I'm going to say it in code so only Tim understands me. I got to work with Tim on Trump Space Force.
You're an ass.
I just got fired from Red Rooster.
Yeah. There you go. All right, everybody. Red Rooster Golden Age is on Indiegogo. I think we did really well today. Thank you very much. You, the audience, are amazing. You're beautiful. You're the best. You are making comic books great again. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. And I'm ending the broadcast.